RRR, India's biggest action drama flick. When the budgets are soaring high, chaos will be a lot higher. Makers easily get carried away with the technical aspects and lose the emotional core. But Rajamouli is scaling very nicely with the budget and is producing blockbusters. So, what makes this 3-hour extravaganza an epic? There are 5 aspects I want to pick out, so let us break down the movie on a high level. This is your break the format. Without waiting further, let's go. 1. Emotional roller coaster. This term is so overused and lost its sanctity. Many of the movies currently are mostly templated and are coming up with a very narrow emotional core. For example, if we take any commercial movies now in Telugu, we know what the emotional palette will be. I am not belittling them but tired of watching such templated movies as they are emotionally confined and limited. But RRR is one movie where emotional palette is very wide. If we just skim through few moments in the first half, we can see many emotions like domination, racism, evil, brutal, loyal, fears, shock, caring, holding pain, betrayal, fear, disappointment, bonding, kindness, funny, innocence, insult, victory, violent, consoling, forgiving, caring, perplexed, astonished, rivalry, angered, bond collapsed. These are not even 10% of the complete emotional range in the movie. Actual movie has conveyed way more emotion than what I just did. At the end, you feel exhilarated since lot of human emotions are conveyed, and this is a perfect exemplary of the term emotional roller coaster. 2. Emoting audience. We have just seen what emotions are conveyed, but conveying emotions and emoting the audience rarely meet. I will pick 3 major aspects on this. 1. Empathy with the characters. Making the audience empathize with the characters is very important. Before the title cards, this movie makes sure we are empathizing with the main characters. For Malli, as she was taken away from her family, we are empathizing with her. For Ram, he gets into big trouble and wanted him to come out safely from this protesting mob. And for Beam, during his struggle with the tiger, we almost entered into his soul and wanted the ends to hook up. 2. What are audience following? Audience thoughts don't just stop at what costumes did the actors wear. They read the expression and follow the character's individual growth. And not just that, they go another level up and also map the relationships between the characters and how this relationship is progressing through the time. RRR is strongly based on this relationship, that is, the friendship or brotherhood between Ram and Beam. 3. What elements are used to emote? In the first half, as an audience, we know Beam is the one Ram is hunting for, but they don't know each other about their real identities. There is a tension or insecurity from the audience that this friendship can break any time, and once there is a reveal, it gets more scarier what happens next. We see this element in the Magdira 2, where protagonist and antagonist will be sitting side by side, but they don't know about each other. We will be tensed what happens if they got to know about each other's identity. And also in the same movie, we know that Kajal is Bindu, but Ram doesn't know about it. As an audience, we will be plunging for Ram to know about it, and once it happens, it is such a satisfying feeling. Coming to the second half, Ram tries to save Malli and Beam, but it leads to a misunderstanding and Beam gives a blow to Ram and escapes away. As an audience, I am plunging that, hey Beam, due to the consequences happened so far, you have misunderstood him. It leaves a hole in the hearts of an audience and you will be waiting for them to get back together. Similar misunderstanding theme is also used in Magadira, where Bindu mistook Ram for killing her father, and we are involved to an extent and feel, hey Bindu, you got it totally wrong. Even in Chhatrapati, his mom misunderstands that her son has died and we will be waiting for her mother to know that he is still alive.
ఒట్టేసి ఒక మాట వేయకుండా ఒక మాట చెప్పనమ్మా.
3. Visual storytelling. For some era, dialogue was a predominant element in the Telugu cinema, but audience have evolved and don't want to be spoon-fed with what the characters are feeling. Rajamouli's movies have evolved from saying things to showing things and conveying the emotions musically. He is making the characters use dialogues very sparingly, and much of the emotion of these characters is conveyed through music. From the movie Eager, this style has become very predominant. What this fly is feeling has to be conveyed only through music. Experimenting with a story as Eager, Rajamouli and Kiravani have landed into a gold mine. For example, if you pick one scene, the intro scene of Ram, there is nothing conveyed verbally. Rather, we are interpreting that he is brutal, ruthless, very determined. Here it is involving the audience to have their own interpretations and they feel rewarded for that. 4. Experience. There are three major elements I want to talk about. 1. Locations. Locations are just rolling. Time and time again, we are always landing into a different place. We get a feeling of being to so many places and seeing so much in a short period of time. 2. Concepts. While the audience are still absorbing the emotions, it hits you with the jaw-dropping visuals. Creativity is outpouring in those visuals. I have never seen something like them before, and these are true exemplary of the term visual spectacle. 3. Music. Sync of visuals and music is too good. Music played a super strong role conveying the emotions of the characters. It has also very nicely leveraged the themes and played out beautifully. We will explore music along with other craft in a completely different video. 5. Change. If we draw a graph for the movie, the change is happening at a good pace and this delta is consistent throughout the movie. Due to this constant change, we are always landing into a different pool every time. It expands when it is needed and shrinks when it is not required. There are so many 3-act structured sequences and I have already talked about it in another video. So do check it out, which explains this widely used technique in the movie. Final thoughts. What kind of bucket does RRR fall into? To me, there are two ends of the spectrum. To one end, movies which bombard you with a lot of information and the audience need to focus hard and force themselves into empathizing with the characters and the plot. To the contrary, RRR is at the other end of the spectrum which doesn't bombard you with a lot of information but holds your hands and makes you navigate through this emotionally satisfying journey. Both the styles are beautiful in their own ways, but this style has a more universal appeal to it. Many Western audience are having a preconceived notion of Indian cinema as just Bollywood or just dance numbers. After watching RRR, it is very good to see that they are slowly outpouring excitement in Twitter. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We'll be coming up with more interesting videos.